Hey everybody, it's Kendra. Welcome to my channel if you're new, and welcome back if you've been here before. So my video today is going to be a cooking video. I'm going to be sharing a very easy recipe for this drink. You can see it's kind of pretty, kind of matches my sweatshirt today. This is a mulled Concord grape apple cider. It's lovely. It's got the nice, traditional warm kind of spices in it. Perfect for fall. Now, my parents do have Concord grape vines. It started out as 2 vines probably 25 years ago. Now they're like 1,000,000 vines and they just kind of grow everywhere. So I would say about like a week and a half ago, I harvested about 8 pounds of grapes, and then I also cut off a ton of grapevines, and I'm just letting those dry. Once they're dry, I will turn them into grapevine wreaths. But anyway, with the grapes, I don't really do much with them besides making this drink, this mulled Concord grape cider. It's delicious. It's very nice for fall. It's very tart. So I don't add any sweetener to it, but if you want to add sweetener or, some extra stuff, you can. Now, this recipe was inspired by this cookbook, At Home in the Whole Foods Kitchen. Great book. Love this. Has tons of good plant-based recipes in it. Now, the Concord, the mulled Concord cider recipe in this just uses apple cider. It's like apple cider, water, Concord grapes, and then some spices. I did not have apple cider. And I didn't want to buy any because in addition to Concord grapes, my parents also have about 30 apple trees. So I just thought, you know what? I'm not going to add cider to this. I'm just going to double the amount of water, the amount of water and the amount of cider that I'm supposed to use. I'm just going to use that as water, and I'm going to use just apples. So I cook this. You'll see in a second, I'm using a ton of apples to get a little bit of sweetness because Concord grapes are very, very, very tart. So anywho, let's get into it. It's a super, super easy recipe. If you can get your hands on some Concord grapes this time of year, I would definitely suggest giving this a try. It's a nice change to just, hot apple cider. Hot apple cider is great and always amazing, but this is kind of, unexpected, and it's very, very, very tasty. So anywho, let's get into it. All right, so here are our fruits. So I've got about 3.5 pounds of Concord grapes and about 12 or so apples. I'm using a blend of tart and sweet, but most of my apples are on the sweet side. Next, we've got our spices. So I'm using cinnamon sticks, whole star anise, whole cloves, and cardamom pods. All right, and then to prep the fruit, I'm not gonna peel the apples. I'm just slicing off the sides. I'm not doing a fancy job of coring them. If there are any weird bits like this, I am gonna cut this out. These apples are not sprayed, so there may be some wormholes here and there. But yeah, super, super lazy apple prep. Then for the grapes, I'm just gonna wash these. Again, the grapes are not sprayed. My parents literally do nothing with them. But there might be dust or any debris. So I want to give them a nice thorough rinse to get off any sort of yucky stuff there might be. And then I'm going to peel off all of the purple grapes. Any green grapes that are left are going to be super, super tart, and I don't want those in my cider. So I'm just picking off the purple ones, and I'm making sure to get all of the stems out and any sort of yucky damaged ones. And voila, we have our finished fruit. Now to make this super, super easy, dump in the grapes, and then you dump in the apples, and then you dump in some water. So here we've got 4 cups of water, and then this was 8 cups of water. And then I decided I needed some more, so I put in 4 more cups, and then I put in my spices. So I've got 3 cinnamon sticks, a few star anise, probably 10 or 15 cloves, maybe 15 or so cardamom pods. Just gonna give this a nice quick stir, crank up the heat to high, and then I'm gonna let everything cook for about 45 minutes to an hour. I want everything to just meld together, all the flavors to come together, and everything to get super soft. So you see here, if I push down with this wooden spoon, the peels of the apples are starting to release from the flesh of the apple. So this is perfect. I feel like this is kind of when you know this is ready to go on to the next step. When you're pushing on the apples, the skins are releasing, everything is just really soft. So now I'm gonna take a potato masher and just mush up everything. Get the apple peels away from the flesh, get the grape skins away from the grape flesh and the seeds. Just make this giant mess out of everything. And let me tell you, when I was doing this, this smelled so amazing. All right, next you want to strain it. But before you strain it, you should definitely let this cool down because you just saw it was basically boiling. So yeah, let this cool down for a couple of hours and then you want to strain it. So I like to strain it through one of these larger strainers at first to get out as much liquid as I possibly can. You see here, I'm just, using the back of a ladle to get some out, and then I'm straining this, with a spoon to just push out as much liquid as I can. And then what I like to do is run this through a nut milk bag. So basically, like, I'll do several batches with the big strainer and just, once there's pulp left, I'll dump it in the nut milk bag and then I squeeze it out. And you can really get a lot of extra liquid out just by using a nut milk bag. I'm always surprised. So anywho, here is my finished product. I ended up getting 2 half-gallon jars and a 3-cup jar, so just a little bit over 1 gallon of this cider. So I'm not going to be able to drink all of this right away just because it's tart and I made a lot of it. So I'm going to freeze it. So I'm pouring this into 1 cup portions with my 1 cup super cubes. This is a perfect portion for drinking. And then I'm going to freeze it. So you can see here that I ended up getting a total of 14 1-cup portions. And I actually had done a batch of this earlier and I did get about the same amount. So here you can see what they look like when they're frozen, and I'm just gonna pop these all out. All right, and there you go. That's what they look like. They're so pretty and ready to go. And now I'm just gonna pop them into a 2-gallon freezer bag. This is the perfect size freezer bag for freezing anything with my super cubes. So there you go, super easy. Dump a bunch of stuff in a pot, let it cook, mash it up, strain it out. Yeah, super easy recipe. Very tasty. This is a very small mug. I only have about 1 cup of this in here because it's very sour. So I only drink about a cup at a time. And you saw the portions that I was freezing in the super cubes, those are only a cup. So when I want to have this, later in the season, when it's cold out, I will only have to take out 1 cup. Because I think about 2 cups is a little bit too much. It's a sipper. Like, you're not gonna chug this because of the tartness. So anyway, I hope you guys are doing great. Have a fabulous weekend. Thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video.